Burmese cuisine is a distinct culinary tradition influenced by the country's geography, culture, and neighboring countries. It's known for its bold and diverse flavors, characterized by the use of fresh herbs, fermented ingredients, and a wide variety of seasonings. The cuisine reflects the cultural diversity and rich culinary heritage of Myanmar. The best Burmese food in New York City is hidden in a mall, and I will take you to it.
I'm currently at Queens Center Mall in Elmhurst, New York City, and in the underground section, there's a food court. The Burmese place we'll be visiting today is called Burmese Bite, right here, right behind me. For the longest time, there was no restaurant dedicated to Burmese cuisine at all, and the only thing you can find is a mobile cart in the city, and he was actually the guy behind it. He is the first vendor selling Burmese food in New York City starting from 1995, and it's been more than 20 years. He also participated in the Queens Night Market where he can sample a variety of cuisines, and it's not until recently, post-pandemic, that he decided to open up a fixed location. All right, let's get started. First, we have a few items. These were OG items from the original car. Now, this place has a more expansive menu. I'm gonna show you later on of the new offerings, but these are the one this vendor started. So we have a Burmese roll, Ohn No Khao Swe, Keema Palata, and a chicken palata. Let's start with Ohn No Khao Swe. This is like the most signature dish, and also it's noodle, so you want to eat it fast. Ohn No Khao Swe is basically like a coconut curry noodle, one of my favorite, and also a very iconic Burmese dish. I actually love Burmese food. It's one of my favorite cuisine, surprise, and it is Asian's best hidden secret. To me, Burmese food is like Chinese plus Indian plus Thai divided by 3. Because of the geographic location, the food receives influences from neighboring countries. And this is a blend of, I guess, Chinese and Indian influences. All right, so here we have the noodle, we have chicken curry, we have this coconut broth, an egg, some cilantro and lime, some chili flakes. Ohn No Khao Swe. I'm hungry. This is good. You have this rich flavor from the chicken curry and the broth. It's got a small spice in there, and also you have a hint of coconut flavor here. It's very creamy. I especially love the noodle. It has this chewiness, nice texture of it. I like it. Next up, we have Burmese Bite roll, also a classic. Clearly Chinese influence, just like a spring roll here, fried. So crispy. And inside has some kind of potato paste. I get a little bit of sweetness from potato. Crunchy, flavorful, filling, small appetizer. Moving on, we have this Keema Palata. So keema is meat. Paratha is the same as like Indian paratha, so clearly an Indian influenced dish. Basically, this paratha thing with keema means meat inside and grill on the griddle. Look at that. Look at the color, beautiful. And we have this like cucumber salsa type of thing. Let's dip that in. The flavor is rich. You have the meat and you have a little bit of a scallion inside, providing you a little bit of that flavor. And the caramelization has a bit of a sweetness. Next one, chicken curry paratha, also a classic item. So we have the paratha here, which is similar to the other one, but this one is not stuffed. As you can see, that's just the plain paratha itself. And we have this dish that is has some potato and chicken curry mixed. I think this might be better with hands. Oh, look at that chicken chunk. Yeah, let's soak that in completely. I'm gonna use chopsticks. Let's soak that in. Let's have this humongous bite. Oh yeah, it is so flavorful. The aroma, the mild spice blend from the curry, and the chicken is soaked up with all the flavors. It is moist, tender. It is really good. Let's get some more. It's sticking completely, everything together. I love chopsticks. Really good, really filling. Next up, we have a few more items, starting with this. This is called Nan Gyi Thoke, also a traditional Burmese rice noodle dish. Nan Gyi means this noodle thing, rice noodle. Thoke is to mix. So this is basically a mixture of the rice dish with all the ingredients. It's also mixed with the chicken curry thing or meat sauce. That is the same as Ohn No Khao Swe with the coconut noodle thing. And you have garlic oil, which is a signature, lime, cilantro, fried onion, a bit salt, the MSG. Wow, look at that. Look at all the meat and stuff. Looks amazing. That is so good. The flavor first is really rich because they use the same meat sauce as Ohn No Khao Swe, so you have this little bit of mild spice. You can taste the garlic oil and fried onion that just provide that unique aroma. And at the same time, this noodle, this rice noodle thing is like really bouncy and it's kind of thick, so it has like the body to it when you chew. Completely absorb all the sauce around it. Really good. This rice noodle thing is also very interesting. In case you don't know, the province in China that's adjacent to Myanmar is called Yunnan province. And that province is known for its rice noodle product called mi xian. So this is like a rice noodle, but it's not exactly the same as the one you had in China. The one in China is a bit more crisp. This one is a bit more bouncy. It has a bit more chew. And also this dish uses something called pea powder. I think a lot of this Burmese cuisine, they use pea powder a little bit just to give it a bit stickiness. I think this is also a similar technique in Chinese, we call them gouqian. So basically what happens is that you use cornstarch with water and you mix it in, and you add it in the dish to thicken it. I think by adding the pea powder in it, kind of achieve the dry glaze effect, just to give it a bit more body, a bit more stickiness. Well, but this texture is really good, I really like it. It's like between a rice noodle and noodle. Moving on, this one we have Shan Noodle. This is from the state of Shan in the north of Myanmar. As you know, these regions turn to be a bit tumultuous because there are different basically ethnic minorities and this is one of them. Also made with rice noodle, but it's not the same as the one we had before. The one before is a bit more thick and rounded. This is thinner and flatter. It uses a similar meat sauce as the one used in Nan Gyi Thoke, so still chicken, but at the same time it uses two unique ingredients here. One is bean paste, another is mustard green here, which is kind of like the Chinese fermented vegetable. Also this one uses a lot of fried onion and garlic oil. Oh yeah, this is a completely different flavor profile because of the mustard green. Well, you really got that fermented flavor, slight sourness in it. You still got a hint of garlic oil and all the other ingredients. And the pea paste here, I think is also serving as the glaze, like a dry glaze or semi-dry glaze that give a bit stickiness. And the texture of this one is completely different from the one before. This one is a bit more sticky. It's not like wheat noodle. This is more like rice noodle. This is good. Here I also have some Burmese tea. This is very similar to Indian chai or the Hong Kong milk tea. Next up we have crispy tofu. This is crispy tofu, and the difference is in Myanmar is that they use chickpea to make tofu fry, and we have the sweet sour dipping sauce. It is fried tofu. Crispy. Indeed, there is a bit of a flavor difference. This thing is made with chickpea, so you have a bit of a unique nutty flavor in there compared to the traditional one that's made with soybean. I mean, they're both beans or hulls, but the flavor is a bit different. Slight crunch to it, good snack. Moving on, the next one we have is tofu salad. Same tofu made with chickpea, but this one not fried, cut into small pieces. So we have this chickpea tofu made with cabbage, some chili flake, garlic oil, fried onion. Well, the flavor is very rich, similar to the other two dishes, chili flake, garlic oil, fried onion. And the tofu itself is like a little firmer version of the traditional tofu. But again, this one is made with chickpea, so it's more condensed, smaller in body, firmer, and has this special nutty flavor. Of course, mixed with all the other flavor together. We also had a little different crunchy texture from the cabbage, fried onion, a bit sweet, a bit savory, a hint of sourness. And this dish also used the pea powder in it. It seems that a lot of Burmese dishes uses pea powder, so it serves again as a dry glaze here. So it gives a bit more body to attach all the flavor into the sauce. So moving on, we have some drink specialty here. This is called Mont Let Saung, and it is made with green rice flour droplet, coconut milk, and syrup. That coconut milk, very nice, sweet and refreshing. And next one is even more interesting. This is called Falooda, made with pudding, jelly, strawberry syrup, and ice cream. The story about this is quite interesting because I've been doing this food exploration thing for a long time, so I started to connect the dots. The original Falooda is actually from Iran. The original form is like tiny vermicelli noodle with shaved ice and rose water. It is a drink in the summer. It's very refreshing. That's like where it originates. Like Falooda comes from Farsi. Then because of the culture diffusion, it travels to India. I had a dessert of similar type when I was in Sharjah, UAE, at an Indian sweet shop, and they also have this thing called Falooda. So basically like similar things, like a sweet drink with a little bit rose water, but at the same time it has raisins and nuts in there. So like you can see it has changed a little bit. And interesting that when I post that video, and my Chinese audience told me there is a dish in Yunnan province of China called Falooda. I didn't know that before. I was like, oh, that is interesting. The name sounds similar, maybe because that's the further diffusion, but I didn't pay too much attention about it until I see this. Now, Falooda, this is in Myanmar. So basically that connect dots and the missing piece in Yunnan. So like there must be a Yunnan Chinese variety of Falooda. So here it still keep the basic nature of a summer refreshing drink, but it has changed to sort of like an ice cream jelly with fruits and things. So as you can see, like the spirit is the same, but it has changed from like the original rose water, shaved ice, vermicelli noodle, then to the Indian thing with like a bit more fruit, nuts. Actually, like fruits and nuts are also a signature in Persian cuisine, and it diffused into China. And here, I mean, it's a very interesting path for the food to travel this way, and I can go all day about this. During the Mongolian rule, Genghis Khan or Genghis Khan and Kublai Khan, that they employ a lot of Muslim people from Central Asia and Khorasan, which is like modern day Iran, in China, and they kind of like just brought their influences. That's another story. I'm here to talk about the drink. Sweet, refreshing. Well, you know what? I still taste the thing that's like very similar to rose water. I don't know if they still use rose water in there, but it says it's like strawberry and all like the fruits and sweetness. It still gave me that hint. Because it's like sort of melted ice cream with all the other sweets and components in it. Yeah, it's very signature Falooda. It's a little different from the Indian version I had, which has raisin and nuts. Of course, it's even further from the origin of Iran, but you can see the spirits there. And in fact, the other drink, the coconut drink, tastes a bit similar in terms of the spirit being a cold, refreshing drink in the summer, the sweetness and refreshingness of it, really good. Moving on, we have this dish, Pea Palata. As you can see, it's the same paratha, but the condiment here is different. The one before is chicken curry. This one is a type of pea paste. I was told this is quite different, so I'm gonna try a little bit. Okay, so we have the pea paste here with some fried onion. You know what? This yellow pea tastes exactly 100% like the Chinese food, 豆汤饭 or 豌杂面. But in terms you don't know those Chinese food, the texture of the bean paste is really smooth, and at the same time you have a bit special nutty flavor from it, and also the onion flavor from fried onion, aroma infused. Next one, we have this signature tea leaf salad. This is very Burmese, and it also received some Chinese influence as well. As I mentioned, in the Yunnan province bordering Myanmar, there are a lot of ethnic minorities, and some of those share same ancestry, and some of them do eat like tea leaves and things like that. So here we have tea leaves mixed with shredded cabbages, chili, lime, and also a little bit of fish sauce. As you can see, there are peanuts, different types of nuts, some tomato here, and this tiny thing, this is the tea leaf. Interesting. Okay, there's so many flavors in here I can't even describe. It's like, you know, like Indian chop. This is like that, but completely different, but like Burmese version in terms that there's so many flavors, like I have problems figuring out what those are. But I know what they are because I saw them making it. So you have first the very special flavor from the tea, funky fermented flavor from the fish sauce, a little bit tomato, a little bit chili, a little bit nutty flavor from all the nuts, and at the same time you receive a texture blends of all these different ingredients. You have a little bit crispy texture from the cabbages, from the nuts, all these flavors in between. It's quite an experience. A little bit earthy, a little bit herbal, and there are different level of crispiness, different nuts, and the cabbages has different layers of it. Very good, very interesting. And we also got some chili here to give this some spice. I think this is bird's eye chili. This can be very, very spicy. I'm gonna try it for you guys. I don't know if this is spicy. If it is, I might not come back. Oh, it is really, really spicy. I don't even have to finish that to know. Okay, here then we have this dome pot Burmese biryani. This is clearly of Indian influence, but I was told that the Burmese masala is a bit more on the milder side instead of being very spicy and pungent. Oh, I can see a piece of cardamom here. There's a dipping sauce, the same as the paratha before, like a cucumber salsa type of thing. Oh, no, the flavor is actually very rich. It soaked the juice from the chicken, so flavorful. And at the same time, you have mild spice fragrance in there. I definitely taste a little bit of cardamom, all this masala flavor. Well, actually quite good. There's some passion in it too. Let's try a bit of this dipping sauce salsa, like cucumber, with a bit of the rice. Quite refreshing. I think this kind of serves as like the yogurt in the Indian context to temper the spice a little bit. I am beyond full, but not finished yet. We have last two items. These two are off the menu items specially prepared for us. This is shrimp cake. So this red sauce, this gravy here is made with ginger, garlic, onion, classic trio with some paprika. Wow, very sizable with the gravy. And also they use a little bit of fish sauce inside as well. Oh yeah, the texture is really good, bouncy, and you can taste like the shrimp chunks inside. The gravy is flavorful, a bit funkiness, a bit umami from the fish sauce, really good. Lastly, bitter melon. This is clearly a Chinese influence dish. This is the bitter melon. The base is also made with ginger, garlic, and onion, and this one uses some dry shrimp and shrimp head. It is bitter. It's bitter melon, right? But this one has almost like a dry rub, dry spice, a little bit heat, and you have this umami flavor from the shrimp head, the dry shrimp, haimi. We call them the rice of the sea. So you have the umami flavor, but of course the bitter melon is bitter in nature. So that is absolutely everything. I'm beyond full. The food is absolutely great. If you haven't had Burmese food before, this is the place for it. This is Fufski. Join me as I explore different food and culture around the world in New York City and beyond. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.